Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkey. I'm back for another video. In today's video, we will be continuing What If Goku Had a Sister? Yes, this is part 4. Now, I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so I thought it would be nice if we did part 4, a lot earlier than you would have actually got it. Now, in the last part, we finished the Saiyan saga with Vegeta being killed and Nappa turning good, however, also coming sadly to his end. Now in this part, we will be starting the Namek saga with Frieza and all those man. So before I get into it, I'd like to say make sure you leave a like on the video, make sure you subscribe, as well as that do all of that other good stuff, follow my Instagram, help your boy out. And with all that said, let us get right into it. So Tarsa would be greatly saddened over the death of Nappa, calmly decided to tell everyone about Namek, to which of course they would go, so everything's going similarly to the original here. So you're probably wondering what the roster's going to be for the fighters that are going to be going to Namek. Now, this is pretty interesting because it's going to basically be like in the original, because we're going to be going on the first ship. So we're going to have Bulma, we're going to have Krillin, we're going to have Tarsa. Obviously, we're going to have the addition of Tarsa with Gohan. Yes, Chi-Chi was really worried about Gohan going alone, well, not alone, but with, to Namek. But with Tarsa there, she was able to, be at ease that she trusted Tarsa. She felt that, Tarsa had promised that she would look after Gohan, so Chi-Chi would trust her. And Tarsa was going to keep that promise no matter what. She would keep Gohan safe. And now Goku is obviously not going, but what's interesting is Piccolo is not going. Now, in my What If Gohan was the legendary Super Saiyan, Piccolo is really keen to go, and he goes to Namek, and he basically is just Piccolo on Namek fighting a bunch of people. But in this What If, I've decided to change it, because I feel as though Piccolo, although he would be keen to go to Namek, he'd be interested to go, he also knows how powerful Frieza's probably going to be, so he wants to get as strong as possible. So, he wants to meet all the Namekians, but he also knows that Goku's going to be doing quite a bit of training. And he was worried, about Vegeta. He had been so powerful, and they had to do so much just to defeat him. And now they were going to go fight this Frieza guy, who Vegeta and Nappa served under. So yeah, overall Piccolo decided he would join Goku going on the second spaceship that was currently being built. I mean, it's not much of a difference realistically. He just arrives a tiny bit later than Tarsa, Gohan, and Krillin. So, with all that said, they said their fateful goodbyes and they left, going off to Namek. Obviously, Piccolo and Goku are waiting the construction of their ship, which is being handled by Dr. Briefs. Now, during the time of their trip to Namek, Tarsa and Gohan would train quite a bit, both growing quite a bit stronger. Of course, Krillin was there too, which means he joined in Tarsa and Gohan's training. Krillin and Gohan, as well as Tarsa, all grew many times stronger, with Krillin also teaching the Destructo Disc to Tarsa. She had wanted to learn it because she thought it was a pretty nice technique, which Krillin showed off. Now, a few people in the comments section asked about whether Tarsa and Krillin would end up together in terms of romance. And although interesting, we are not going to be going down that path. As for this pair, we are rather not as interested in them as, Tarsa, as far as Tarsa's concerned, basically, she and Krillin are just friends, there's nothing going on, and Tarsa is really similar to Goku in the aspect that she's searching for someone strong. So yeah, you'll have to wait and see who she ends up with. I know one of the main factors of this whatever is everyone is like, who's Tarsa going to end up with? Who's she going to end up with? And you'll get your answer sooner or later. It's a bit of a while away, but I promise you one thing, that Tarsa, she's going to end up with somebody. But it's not obvious who it is, and it's definitely going to shock a lot of you. Now, they would eventually land on Namek after having gone to New Namek, of course, and they would exit the ship. Obviously, they've finished their training and they've gotten a bit stronger, they've increased quite a bit. Now, their first course of action was to find a base and to set up where Bulma would be staying and where they would, essentially be keeping most of the Dragon Balls and basically their base. So the rest plays out like in the original, with this time Gohan and Tarsa going to the Namekian village. Of course, they had the capsule with the house. They see Frieza go by, and Tarsa and Gohan go to the village, and they arrive, seeing Frieza and his men. They, of course, are killing Namekians so that Mori will give them the Dragon Ball. Listen, old man, if you do not hand me the Dragon Ball this instant, your children will die. Obviously, Frieza kills Cargo after Mori refuses, and then he prepares to kill Dende. Tarsa tells Gohan to stay calm and to not get angry. She has a plan. Just then, Tarsa jumps in, shouting, "Solar Flare!" The bright light blinding everyone, with Frieza being pretty confused. She immediately took the Elder as well as the rest of the Namekians and the children, that being Dende, and told Gohan to head back to the house, or the base, sorry. Meanwhile, she would distract Frieza and his men. As she took the Dragon Ball, she flew away, with Frieza getting angry. Who was that person? He hadn't been able to see what they looked like. However, he could sense her power level in the scouter. He told the Doria to go after her and to make sure he killed her, no matter what. The Doria flew after Tarsa, to which they both landed sort of nearby to where Frieza was, and so their battle began. Tarsa chucked the Dragon Ball away so that, the Doria didn't know where it was, and as their battle began, it was a clash. It was a fierce battle as each fighters on either side were going at it. Now, Tarsa seemed to be quite powerful. She wasn't letting up. However, the Doria was pretty strong. They continued their fight, and overall it was clear. Tarsa was stronger. She took a bit of damage from the Doria, but she was able to defeat him with ease. Obviously, Tarsa doesn't care. She's not like Goku. She's not going to spare people, so she kills the Doria because she knows that this guy is pure evil. There's no way there's no way he should ever be allowed to live with the amount of people he's killed. Frieza began to grow impatient. The Zarbon, where's the Doria? I'm not sure, Frieza, but I would assume he is still fighting that person who blinded us all. Go and find the Doria, Zarbon. Yes, my lord. To which Zarbon then went off, and he eventually arrived to find Tarsa. He was disgusted. A Saiyan. What a pitiful sight. And the two fought. He was pretty confused how a Saiyan was still alive, because he thought, Frieza destroyed all the Saiyans, but I guess this one survived. To which Tarsa fought him. Tarsa clearly had the upper hand, and she was now winning. She was planning to, basically just kill Zarbon off, just like she killed the Doria. But right as she went for the finishing blow, she was met with a bit of a surprise when Zarbon transformed into his beast mode, or whatever the hell that's called, the big ugly fat mode. Now, she fought Zarbon, and Zarbon was confident he would win. Tarsa, however, was able to now outpace him, powering up to an even stronger power level. She began to overwhelm him, sending a volley of attacks. Zarbon was then met with an unfortunate end in a very similar fashion to the Doria, being blasted away, killed, left with just smithereens. After having defeated Zarbon, Tarsa flew back to the base, finding Dende and his people safe. Dende healed Tarsa, to which she received a Zenkai boost. She had received multiple Zenkai boosts across her life, and this one was a pretty substantial one. She told Gohan about the Doria and Zarbon and how she killed them both, and she told Gohan to come with her, as things would be getting pretty intense from here on. Now, meanwhile, Goku and Piccolo were now on the ship, with them doing their gravity training. Yes, Dr. Briefs had finished building the ship, and he had sent them off. They would be arriving on Namek sooner or later, and they were getting stronger with the gravity room. As well as that, Frieza had just arrived at Guru's place. He had wanted his Dragon Ball. Now, obviously, he was missing one of the other ones, that being the one that Tarsa took, but obviously, he had all the Dragon Balls except this one. He was only missing the one that Guru had. And he then flew off with Nail, and all of this plays out like in the original. As you can see, not much is changing in this part of the What If. This part of the What If is going to be pretty basic. Not a lot is actually going to happen, but I can promise you in the next two parts, oh baby, A lot of things are going to happen in the next 2 parts. This what if is just going to be setting up essentially Namek and what's going to be happening. So if you are wondering about a lot of things that I have not been touching on, do not worry, they will all be covered in the next part. For this part, you'll just have to see what happens on the adventures of Namek. So we're only going to be covering basically Namek in this part. In the next part, we'll start covering a lot of other stuff. Now Frieza obviously goes and he fights Nail, and that all goes like in the original. I don't see why any of this would change. And obviously Tarsa and told Krillin that she would, deal with all the fighters of Namek, as well as Frieza and all his main guards, as well as all the other, men, the Frieza soldiers, essentially. She said she would deal with him. She would deal with them, and so Krillin shouldn't worry about them. Krillin asked what he should do then, and Tarsa told him. So basically this is going to be going just like in my other what if Gohan was the legendary Super Saiyan, where Krillin is going to go and steal the Dragon Balls instead of Vegeta, because Vegeta is obviously dead, so Krillin's going to actually go and do it. Now, as Krillin went to go steal the Dragon Balls, he was pretty worried. Now, Krillin had to do this without being caught, and he was pretty nervous. He explained that he would do it to Tarsa and Gohan, and he left going off for Frieza's ship. Now, Tarsa and Gohan also left going after Frieza's energy. They would arrive at Guru's place, and he would be kind enough to have their potentials unlocked, to which they would grow massively in terms of power by multiple times. They could sense, however, multiple energies closing in on the planet. Yes, Frieza had called multiple people. He had called his family as well as the Ginyu Force. But, as well as that, Goku and Piccolo were now arriving. Tarsa decided that before they go and confront Frieza, they should take these other energies out, because they're pretty powerful. The Ginyu Force pods all land with Gohan and Tarsa being pretty tense. They fly off to go and find them. They all emerged, and the Ginyu Force did their pose and all that. So Tarsa and Gohan then arrived, and they were ready for the first fight. Now this would be Gohan against Goldo and Tarsa against Recoome. This fight would be tough. It was a lot harder than any of her previous fights, and Recoome was a pretty powerful opponent. Meanwhile, Gohan fought against Goldo, and needless to say, Gohan was actually losing. Goldo was using his time-stopping abilities, and Gohan was beginning to struggle. Just then, however, they sensed it. The energies. What was these energies? They were so powerful. Yes, Goku and Piccolo have just landed on the planet. They immediately came out of the ship, joining the battle, sensing the fights going on. Now, I didn't decide to cover any of the training on the spaceships because it would essentially go the same. Goku and Piccolo would just train in the gravity room. Goku would get a lot stronger than the original because he obviously has a training partner, that being Piccolo. So they're obviously going to be a lot stronger than in the original. Trust me, you're going to see in this part and in the next parts how much stronger Goku and Piccolo are, because it is astounding. I mean, the gravity room is a pretty OP way to train, in my opinion. So Goku and Piccolo join the battle. They start to help, and obviously Piccolo goes to help Gohan, and he kills Goldo. Yes, Goldo is dead. No time's wasted. Goldo's just been killed off in an instant, and Goku goes to help Tarsa. Tarsa didn't actually need help defeating Recoome, but she was just saving her energy for Frieza, but she appreciated the help from her brother. Now, the next fights were Jace and Berta, and I think it's obvious, but with this team fighting against them, it's going to be pretty easy to take out Jace and Berta, so they would obviously just get taken out. And of course, the final fighter is Ginyu, and basically this goes like in the original. Ginyu manages to steal Goku's body after fighting him, and he then becomes, a toad, because they throw the toad at him, but this time Tarsa throws the toad. So yeah, they defeat Ginyu. I honestly don't really know how I could change a couple of things with the Ginyu Force, but honestly, considering how much is going to be changing in the later parts of the Namek saga, for the beginning bits, I think it's easier to just keep things simple and, just keep Ginyu like that. I don't really want to make Ginyu steal people's bodies and get all, muddled up with all that. So yeah, obviously, that Ginyu Force battle has basically gone the same as the original. The Ginyu Force has all been defeated, and that leaves only the final boss. Or you think it's the final boss, but you never know. There could be other opponents coming. Now, the final boss is, of course, Frieza, and they all went after Frieza, devising a plan. So, Gohan and Tarsa decided that they would be going to fight Frieza. they had received another Zenkai boost and they were now really powerful. I mean, Gohan is quite a bit stronger than the original in terms of strength. You know, he trained with Goku and Tarsa before the Saiyans, as well as with Piccolo, not doing it in the wilderness, and he's trained up until Namek, receiving also multiple Zenkai boosts on Namek, and he's trained a lot with Tarsa. He's also had his potential unlocked. So yeah, Tarsa is also at roughly the same points where she's received a lot more Zenkai boosts, and you know, she's got her potential unlocked, so she's going to be a lot stronger than what she was on Earth. Now, Tarsa is really powerful, and she's going to be putting up a pretty good fight against even final form Frieza. I mean, if she fought him, she wasn't going to win, but she wasn't going down without a fight, that's for sure. But Tarsa and Gohan would go to Frieza. Meanwhile, Krillin had now stolen the Dragon Balls. Yes, remember Krillin? You probably forgot about him. But yeah, he had to be crafty, and I think Krillin would be able to steal the Dragon Balls. And yep, he was able to steal all the Dragon Balls except one, which Frieza now had. And of course, Tarsa and Gohan landed, ready to face Frieza. Now, you're probably wondering what happened to Goku and Piccolo. Piccolo was wanting to get his potential unlocked. He was still not sure if he could defeat Frieza, and he decided that, you know, he would go to Guru and get his potential unlocked. Now, Piccolo finds Nail, and oh boy, if you thought Piccolo was strong in the original, after him fusing with Nail, you ain't seen nothing yet, man. You ain't seen nothing yet. Piccolo decides he's still going to go to Guru's, because even though he has absorbed Nail and gotten way stronger, he's definitely still going to get his potential unlocked to ensure that he can defeat Frieza. He can sense it. Frieza's going to be a pretty powerful opponent. And so he arrives at Guru's, and Piccolo receives the boost, becoming even stronger. Now, Goku would head off to get healed, like in the original, but he's not going to go to Frieza's ship. He's this time going to go back to the base, where all the Namekians are residing, to be healed by Dende. Obviously, he had his body swapped with Ginyu, and he took quite a bit of damage, you know, fighting against Piccolo, Tarsa, and, you know, Gohan. And, you know, Gohan would eventually find Frieza, accompanied by Tarsa. Now, Tarsa immediately powered up, and she began to fight against Frieza. Frieza knew that he was going to have to go to his final form, and he decided to just skip his other forms because Tarsa was at least as strong as his final form. So they began to fight, and he knew that he would need to defeat her. Now, across her journey on Namek, Tarsa has received multiple Zenkai boosts, as well as having a potential unlocked, like I said before. So she begins to fight against final form Frieza, and she was shocked at how powerful Frieza was, but she was actually doing quite well. Now, Gohan watched in shock as Tarsa went all out. She decided that she was not going to hold back against Frieza. She dished out multiple attacks, to which Frieza started to actually grow quite angry. Just then, however, Frieza realized, oh no, the sky had turned black. Wait, no. Oh crap, all the Dragon Balls had been collected. So the sky had turned dark. Yes, all the Dragon Balls had been collected and Porunga was summoned. Krillin had managed to steal all the Dragon Balls and had gotten Tarsa's one. So they now summoned Porunga. He had made it back. Frieza grew angry. He was pretty sure that this was the dragon. Frieza bulked up to his final form, fully powered to defeat Tarsa. Tarsa realizing that, oh no, she was now nowhere near his strength. Frieza had been holding back profusely, and he knew Frieza that he needed to get to the dragon as quickly as possible. He was infuriated. Gohan tried to join, but they both got beaten badly by final form Frieza. Piccolo arrived, however, and he started his battle against Frieza. And needless to say, he was putting up a pretty good fight against final form Frieza. Frieza was now getting even angrier. The Z-Fighters looked up at Porunga, and they got ready to make their first wish. Now, you're probably wondering what happened to Nappa and the rest of the gang in Otherworld, and you're probably wondering what's going to happen next in this What If, but we're going to be ending it there. I think that, you know, this was an interesting part, but I didn't really have all too much time to make this video, so if it's not as good as usual, or you think, oh, you know, why isn't this What If as good as usual? I feel like you could have changed a lot more things. That's why I promise you next part, after next part, the next two parts, oh boy, you're going to be shocked by the amount of things that are going to happen in this What If, because you're going to be really surprised by, you know, how I'm going to change up this What If and what's going to be happening to Tarsa and Nappa and the rest of the gang. So, If you did enjoy, make sure you drop a like down on the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think of Frieza? We're fighting Frieza in the first part of Namek, which is really interesting, because could there be possible more villains coming to Namek? Could there be, you know, a lot more left to see of Frieza? What do you think is going to happen with Tarsa and Gohan? What do you think will happen with Goku? Do you think he's going to heal? Who do you think is going to be able to defeat Frieza now that he's gotten so angry that he's decided to just forget it all and go to his final fully powered form? If you did enjoy, make sure you subscribe so you know as soon as I upload all these Dragon Ball What Ifs, because I'm really enjoying making them. I'd also like to say a massive thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I will be having a 1K special going out soon. And yeah, I think you're all going to be pretty surprised by what that What If is going to be. I think you're all really going to enjoy it too, because it's definitely different. No one's ever done a What If like this so far, and I think that I'm going to, you know, be the first one to do a What If like this. Someone might have done it before, but I'm pretty sure no one's done this What If before. So yeah, make sure you turn the notification bell on too so you know as soon as I upload. And that's it for now. I'll see you all in the next video. Laters.